What up? Happy Thursday. It is the 10 Hut
Thursday,
Show.
Thursday, thirsty
Thursday.
Thursday.
It's a 10 Hut Show
Cheers.
with a side of whiskey. So, salute. So, hey, this is the month of October, and I am a fanatic of Halloween. So, I'm sure you are too, bro. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, it's crazy. If my students are watching right now,
Mhm.
all I have to say is the Halloween song and they freaking tremble and they hit me up all the time. Hey, sir, I just heard the Halloween song and they just scared the shit out of me because I just remember. So the Halloween theme song is actually 2 minutes and 36 seconds. And that's enough time for these fools to make their beds. So
Ah,
I would say it's time to make these beds, and I would play the theme song, the
yeah.
Halloween theme song, 2 minutes and 36 seconds, and I mean they were rushing to get that shit done, man. You know how it is. Uh,
That
so
is some
so
funny shit.
it's how much I love the holiday that I buried into the hearts and souls of my students. So
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I should
yeah.
do that to my kids.
Yeah,
Pull to the
right, man.
line.
They'll call the cops and say
I
that
know.
you're being abusive.
I know, right? All right, cool,
Yeah.
man. So, before we get started, I do actually, I don't know, do you want to share a story? Your paranormal, paranormal experience. I mean, don't tell it yet, but I mean, I want to know because I have a story too. So, and then and Jose, he didn't join us today. He has some stuff
Yeah.
going on, but it was he has some. I'm sure he has a lot of stories too as well.
I don't
Um,
know if I have one, bro. I mean, I honestly I don't believe too much on in the
really?
supernatural like they're like out there looking for you or some shit like that.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. No,
I
no, no.
believe in the supernatural. I believe
Yeah,
in superpowers or spirituality in a way that
yeah,
there's a good and bad.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not scared of much, man. I think I've watched every horror movie and I've
Yeah.
never been like, oh man, that scared the crap out of me.
Well, yeah, watching movies for me is not, but like I've experienced a couple ones, but
Yeah.
um, before we actually start, so I want to give a shout out to Mr. Robert Sarge Perez. He actually is having an event. He is Sarge Resource Center. He is the founder of Sarge Resource Center. He's having on October 16 on Saturday between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. It's going to be the salute to women veterans. So it's going to be in Monterey Park at the American Legion Post 397. I'll post this another time, either tomorrow, so you guys can keep up with this event. But I highly recommend. I was there last time with Jose, and it's
Yeah.
just the salutes for women veterans. So definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So
So
share this
if it,
video. Yeah.
yeah, if you're out there, for women veteran, you need to show up to stuff like this. This is where you're
Yeah.
gonna find the resources that are very particular
Right.
to women veteran. And if you have a female veteran that that is struggling and doesn't want to go, and you're a male, you should show up as well. Show up for
Right.
support. Go get the resources that they might need, that you think
Right.
they might need, and get it back to them. There's we sometimes forget that uh, there's males and females in the military,
Yeah.
and we shouldn't. We should never forget that.
Yeah. And if you have a significant other that is actually serve in the military, woman vet, I mean, it's good to go to these events so you can understand the challenges that they have, so you can better communicate with your loved one. So
Yeah,
this can definitely help your guys' relationship. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
the-
I highly recommend it. Go
yeah,
go and share this post. I'll put it tomorrow.
yeah. The
Mm,
other event that's going on next week on the 13th of October of this
mhm.
month, the Los Angeles Veterans Collaborative is gonna be happening from 9 to noon. Uh, it's on Eventbrite. I think it's still virtual, but you should go on
Yeah,
Eventbrite and just type in Los Angeles, the whole word, Veterans Collaborative, and it should pop right up. You can see all the info, and this is the collaborative that's going to talk about those major resources like homelessness, women's
Yeah, different
health, and veteran women. It's going to have employment, education, uh,
wellness.
legal
Yeah,
illness. Yeah. So
yeah, wellness.
if you have any questions or you just want to stop by, check it out. It's free. All you got to do is go to Eventbrite and then sign up for it. Like I said, just type in the search bar at Eventbrite Los Angeles
Mm,
Veterans Collaborative, and you should be able to get to that. It's a good place to go. See what people are working on. If not, maybe find some resources that you're looking for
right.
anything that you're particularly struggling with, and you know what, maybe they're not aware of what you're going through, so bring it up, and you can even throw the I heard it from a friend, if
Hmm.
you don't want to say it to you,
Hmm.
and go from there, and
Yeah,
somebody will find a resource for you, or at least find somebody that might
that
know
knows.
what you need, so
Yeah, that knows somebody. Yeah,
that know
that's how it
somebody,
works,
yeah,
you know. So,
yeah,
the other thing is, so most of you guys know that I moved to Dallas, Texas. So, if you know any veteran organization, any veterans out in this area, connect me with them. I would love to, build this, spread 10 hut out here. So, please, send me a DM. Definitely would love to get connected. So,
yeah.
let's get to these events, man, or at least these paranormal stories, right? So, some of you guys right now that are joining us, look, so
Oh
Jose and I,
man,
we're into this stuff, right? Like we actually did it and kind of worked out with the equipment that we had, but we wanted to actually, this entire month get stories from you guys. Like what are
yeah,
your experience that you had in the military or even outside of the military, when it
yeah.
comes to the paranormal things, right? So paranormal experience. So I
I
know
mean,
I know you have stories, bro. But go ahead, bro. I know you want to share with us
look, listen, man. So
La
I,
Llorona.
I just, I just, no, bro. Look.
Eh,
The Hispanics, we know, we have a golly
yeah,
amount of horror stories, right? But
yeah.
the crazy part, all right. So like I said, I'm not like too much of a there's ghosts or something like some bad juju going on or something.
Yeah.
Uh, right now, where I work, one of the buildings that I'm responsible for is a old building. It's a warehouse type building.
Mhm.
Uh, I just think of like the old army barrack offices, kind of. Uh,
Yeah.
well, this thing was built in like 1930s or something like that, man.
Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
And every time I leave somebody there, they come, hey man, I can't stay here any longer because there's just like I'm always in there by myself, lights off, dark. I don't even care, man. Like it's just the stuff
Mhm.
like that. They're like, man, I just hear somebody like walking, and it's just like I know there's nobody in here. I'm like, it's probably some bird just fly. I don't know, man. To me, I don't know. Maybe they're hearing the
Hold on. Have you stayed
wind
actually by
blow.
yourself? Went in by
Yeah,
yourself at all?
yeah. I've stayed there, lights off, no, like, because you get a little bit of daylight from the windows, but there's some areas that get really, really dark because there's no windows, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the areas. But for some reason, there was an electrician. I called in. I had service done on an electrical panel that was kind of like just some wires hanging out of it and need to be whatever.
Yeah.
So I call in for service, and the electrician came, and he's like, "Wait a minute, are you leaving?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got to go handle some other stuff on the other side of the base. I just came to unlock the building for you to get in." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, no, bro. Like I'm not staying in this building by myself." And I'm like,
Jesus.
"Why not?" He's like, "Last time I was in here, man, I just started hearing shit, and it's just kind of creepy. I am not staying here." And
Hmm.
he was like dead serious, but I don't know, man. Maybe I just don't pay close enough attention. I'm too busy working or something. I don't
That's the thing. You're too busy that you're just like not aware what's going on in front of you.
know. Yeah, I got a
That
ghost hanging
yeah.
out in front of me and stuff.
He's
I don't
he's
know.
probably like right next to you, touching you. He's
Yeah.
groping over you, or she's
As
groping
long
over
as he gives me some shoulder massages, I'll be
you.
fine. You know, yeah,
Oh man, that's crazy. Well,
you know.
I have a I was stationed in Hawaii, so we had one of the housing that we were staying. It's like you could say a brand new community, and but I don't know what was the land like they built on. Like I have no idea. But all I can tell you is that several times, like either my family was gone, like they were like
Mhm.
visiting family, their family, her mom, my wife was visiting her mom, and I used to hear footsteps all the time. I'm like, what's going up there? Right. So I used to think like, oh, just, probably like, brand new building is like, houses just getting it
Settling
acclimated,
in.
settling and everything.
Yeah.
So one time I had a 48-hour, training, and we was out in the field training, so it was just like a
uh,
quick, fast thing. But for 2 days, so and I came back and was just exhausted, like had no sleep, nothing. And then I can tell you this: as soon as I went to bed, like everything was so quiet. At maybe 3 hours in or 4 hours in, my daughter's, crawler
uh,
started going off out of nowhere. And
what?
yeah, it started going off, right? And I was like, what the heck? So I went downstairs because we had two-floor house, and then went downstairs, and this thing was like bright, going lights going off, and the thing was just
Uh,
like sounding off. And I looked at it, and so then I go ahead and and it was on off. So I put it on and off, maybe like have a little reset. I was just tired in the middle of the night, and the thing just cut off. Went back upstairs, and like a couple minutes later, the thing went off again. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, and my wife was like, what is that? Like, why is this happening? I was like, I don't know. But I was so tired, I was aggravated. So I grabbed the thing and just slammed it on the floor. The thing broke. So, and then stopped. And I was like, leave me alone. I want to go to sleep. And then just went upstairs and whatever. But at that moment, when you're deep sleep, especially when you're extremely tired, and
it's
it's
probably
just
because
all
you
of a
were
sudden,
tired,
and,
man.
and thing it
Like
just
this,
went off.
the
The thing is just,
batteries were faulty.
I don't know. Like, who knows, man? But yeah, the thing went off again, and I was like, it caught me. So that was kind of like, all right, like an experience. But I can tell you the most crazy experience that I had was a couple of my battles. We actually, when we were stationed in Korea, we was all the way up in Camp Casey. We were doing some training up there. It's like way north, and so we had like night shift, fire guard, and we was
Yeah,
keeping a patrol on a motor pool outside. So we made our
yeah,
own motor pool. But anyways, we was in the
yeah.
field. So there's a lot of history there because it's like not that far from the DMZ. And so
Uh,
what I can tell you is that the first night, it was like 2 in the morning. We
mhm.
actually just got in a truck. It's got too cold and everything, but it was a really bright moon, and so you can see, outside. And then
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy, and then all of it, I was talking to the left, right? It was in Southern LMTV, and all of a sudden I can feel something watching me. I was like, why did I
It's a
feel that?
deer, bro. It's a deer.
Just like Kevin Hart says, Deborah, it's a Deborah. So I glance a little bit, I glance forward, but I see like a silhouette of a midget. Like seriously, like I swear to God, like it was a silhouette of a midget
What the
staring at
hell,
me,
bro?
and I was looking out of the window, and it was staring at me. But then I looked back out and started talking, and I was like, "What the heck?" All of a sudden, I said, "Hey, there's someone in here." We got out of the truck, so we looked around and see if there's anyone there, whatever. No one. And then we got to this tree line, and we see this like little person running into the bushes, and all of a sudden, instant, it went to the road. I'm telling you, man. And we
Oh
were like,
man.
what the fuck was that? So, anyways, second night it happened the same. We didn't see anything, but we were hearing loud bangs. And I was like, somebody's messing with us. We didn't see nothing at all. But I can tell you that was the intense and funnest, I guess you can say it, paranormal experience that I had. Um, that I've actually experienced. Period. Oh, besides the old house in Rancho, which was in California, that there
Mhm.
was a ghost in one of the rooms. You sleep in there, and they start
Oh.
pulling. No, they start pulling your freaking blanket off. You can ask Jose.
Oh,
He was
whatever.
staying in that room, and he can tell you. I wish was here, man, because he could tell you it was actually pulling his blanket. And
Oh,
he used to think
whatever.
it was thinking that it was like my kids, right? Like just messing
Yeah,
around with
yeah,
him. No, it wasn't. It was like in the middle of the night. But yeah, he would tell you the story, man. But anyways, that was the couple experience. And besides the Llorona, my dad always talked about the Llorona.
Yeah, everybody talks about that.
So if you're watching this, anyone that you want to share their story, like definitely would love to come in and get you on the show. We just have fun and talk about experiences. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's something that I've been through. So
Oh man, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But hey, you said it happened, man.
it happened. I mean, you know, so it's
Yeah.
like it's one of those. I don't know. Maybe I have a lot of intuition or awareness, and I'm like, what the heck is that? You know,
It's
but
it's
it's
uh it's hard, man, to think like they're. I mean, I don't see why I couldn't, but I
yeah,
also don't see why,
yeah, yeah. I
But
mean, I don't. It's
you know,
just you can't even. I mean, sometimes you see things, some people don't. So it just depends. What do you guys think? You know, you guys
yeah.
think there's a ghost out there? If there is a ghost out there, man, they're not there after you. Because if not, they would have done something to you.
Well,
Well,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, man. Now, one thing I do believe in is exorcism and demonic possession. I do believe in that.
oh, so now you believe that? Okay,
I do believe in that. And now
okay,
this whole freaking like craziness with like conjuring where things go, yeah, I don't believe in that. So
mm,
one of my relatives, he's a priest, and I actually got to spend some time with a lot of his counterparts and priests.
mm,
His if you don't understand in Catholicism or the priests, they all have different things that they bind them their lives to, right? So
yeah,
uh, the relative of mine, he is bound to poverty, and it sucks in a little way because he hits us up all the time about I need some new shoes, and we're like, hey, we just got you shoes, and he's like, yeah, but I saw somebody and I gave him away, so he gives away
oh,
everything. He literally owns nothing. Like
wow, yeah,
he's usually wearing like the same 3 4 sets of garments all the
yeah,
time, and he's built so many churches and just hands them off. But anyways, so I got to meet one of his buddies from the Vatican, and he's an exorcist priest, and he got to show me a couple of things. And what happens. I think the best way that he explained it to me that I saw in the movie to say like, well,
yeah.
this is what he was talking about was the movie The Rite with Anthony Hopkins.
Oh no, I
Where
haven't
he's
watched
a
it.
he's a
I've
he's
mentioned
an
about it.
ex he's an exorcist priest, and what
Yeah,
happens is that a lot of people confuse. It goes both ways with mental illness and demonic possession, right? So
mm,
sometimes people confuse demonic possession for illness, and then sometimes, and that's what his job was for the Vatican, is to go figure out if the person was just a psychopath or somebody with a extreme mental illness, or was it actually demonic possession? And he said that most people that have demonic possession actually can live amongst us like nothing. Like like me and you talking right now, I could be demonically possessed, and but eventually, once in a while, I have like an episode where
yeah,
it's just not explainable, right?
yeah,
Like it doesn't make any sense. Like the stuff about people talking in tongue, like a different Latin or something, and they've never spoke it, but now they're speaking it crazy fluent. Like
yeah.
they
They're
know
fluent about it.
exactly how
Yeah,
to, yeah. And that's what makes it like, well, if I start speaking, I can speak a little bit Latin because of them, because they taught me. But if I started speaking like very fluent Latin, then there'll be probably an issue. Like, hey,
yeah.
how the hell are you doing that? You don't typically speak Latin, or they speak, in Hebrew or other languages. Uh,
Wait, so what did he ever tell? Did he ever tell you like, okay, with an individual that's demonic possessed, that this thing starts shaking, start things starts falling on the
no,
ground?
no,
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 nothing at all.
No,
It's not like the
but
movies.
what does the some stuff that they can't explain and they've tried to scientifically, because
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people think, well, that's a spiritual side, which they don't believe in science in, which is absolutely 100% incorrect. They actually try to the scientific approach, you know, with psychology or other types of science to be able to determine whether the person is just making this shit up or
yeah,
actually demonically possessed. It's not like they don't consider science. They 100% consider science. You
hmm,
know, how can I explain what is going on
hmm,
with this person first scientifically, and if it gets to a certain point where you can't scientifically prove it, you know, that it is in fact scientifical,
yeah.
then you start looking at spiritual type
Quantum and
issues
stuff.
going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
which
what is that? So what is that that they haven't figured or they don't understand?
well, I mean, like there's been issues where there's a girl out in Europe. She's about 10 now, 12,
Hmm.
and she cries out crystals. And they've taken her to doctors, and they have no
Jesus,
clue. Like shards of glass, crystal, and it doesn't hurt her, but somehow she
are they
pours these
working?
out. I don't. It just doesn't. Right? Like
Yeah,
I got the golden goose.
yeah, exactly,
The shit's like diamonds out of her eyeballs. Like right.
exactly. Oh man, those parents will be happy.
Mm.
Yeah.
But no, it's so
Jeez.
that, or sometimes like they can't explain how somebody gets certain scars or
Mm,
scarring. Sometimes the scarring just looks old, but they didn't have it previously.
yeah.
But it looks like it's been there for years. Cuts, uh, the bleeding out of tear ducts has been explained scientifically, but
The bleeding.
you
Wait,
know,
repeat that again. The bleeding of what?
out of the tear duct. So instead of
Oh,
bleeding uh, sodium
yeah,
chloride like we do, you know, water or
yeah.
salted water,
It's
they
the crying
bleed,
blood.
they cry blood. Yeah. So scientifically, you can kind of prove that, you know, that hey,
So
they actually found out that there's like a tear or a connection between a vessel and the tear duct.
yeah.
So instead of you getting tears, you get blood coming out of your eyes. Uh,
Wow.
which is kind of weird because you're not supposed to have blood in your eyes because of the proteins and iron levels in your blood.
Mm,
Yeah, which it's a different type of lubricant that causes, but it's coagulant, so it shuts
yeah.
off, it closes, you know, so it could be dangerous. Uh, the spiking of the hands were, you know, somebody throwing up nails. I
Wait, hold on.
mean,
Throwing up nails.
yeah, yeah,
I've never heard of that
yeah.
before.
Throwing up
That's
nails,
this
yeah,
is
man.
not like demonic stuff. This is like straight X-Men mutant
What
stuff.
you mean? Yeah, and that's the thing
Yeah,
that if you think about it, it's like, well, how can I say that's demonic and not just some weird shit that maybe this person ate nails and now is throwing them up and they're able to do that, just like somebody that sticks a sword down their throat, you know?
yeah,
Like, how do
yeah.
they do it? They just, I don't know. I mean, and then there's the people that chew glass, you know, and then like, I don't know if you've seen that,
Oh,
like,
I seen that. Yeah. Well, they, but that's a little different. I think it's just like, for instance, these Tibetan monks. They can actually raise their temperature in extreme cold.
yeah.
I believe that there's ways you can tap it into your
But
brain, and yeah,
but hold on, that's different because now you're talking about mind over matter, right?
yeah,
And not only that, your body is a miraculous machine, right? That if
yeah,
you're cold, it actually tries really hard to get you hot,
yeah,
right? So and sweaty. I mean, you can be cold and sweaty because it's your body trying to create that heat,
yeah.
you know. So I mean, how do you maintain your body at 98.6, 98.7 degrees, right? And it
Hmm.
could be 140 outside, or it could be negative 30 outside and your body's still at 98.6. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Well,
just
yeah,
your
that's
body's a machine.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well,
Your
that's
body's
that's
just a machine.
yeah. So that's all. Yeah, that's the. That makes sense. Yeah. But for a lot of experiences, stuff like that, I have actually never been around with people being possessed, but I have. Like for my mom, she talked about like my aunts being like getting
Crazy.
thrown being
The
witchcraft,
huevo.
yeah,
Oh,
witchcraft a lot. So again, and it depends on the person. Like my mom has really strong mind, so nothing ever happened to her,
yeah.
but the rest of the family got infected, with certain things like lice or whatever, just out of nowhere. So it's like,
Oh, because
uh,
they didn't wash their hair, bro.
no, 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 because my grandma used to be very meticulous about this, right? Because where they used to
Uh,
live, but it all of a sudden, like, boom, or like someone got sick or something, like, so it's like, they go to, to this like witch doctor and then they'd be like, yeah, something happened, let's take this bad omen out from you guys. But then, I
yeah.
just get a lot of stories. So, I'm actually interested, that I don't have extreme wow stories. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have. When we did the show at the LAPD museum, that was I
Yeah.
got to send something out there. I did. I wanted to send something. That's what I want. I wanted to feel like if there's a presence
But
there.
do you not feel like it was you wanting to feel something, so you felt it because you wanted to feel it? Just
But
like
so,
those
but it
monks
has to, it has to be
in
like an
Tibet.
yeah. But it wasn't like an emotion. Like I want to feel something. Like I was looking for it. But in my mind is like be aware the little subtle things, and I did, because I was like, oh, I feel like I'm being choked here or being lightheaded right now, like. So it's like, but that didn't sound right, but being choked. But I feel lightheaded.
It's kind of like when
Yeah.
you have an anxiety attack, right?
Yeah.
And we
Exactly. Yeah.
talking about PTSD. You
Yeah.
feel like you're having a heart attack, but it has nothing to do with your heart.
Well,
It's it's
I
it's
and
your
so it's
brain, man.
yeah, but it's like how you can differentiate. Well, some people can't. I can't even say the word, but some people would say like, I never had a panic attack, so how would I? I don't think it was a panic attack. I think it was something there. So it just depends, on the situation. I guess people, person, but um, if there's ghosts out there, people are not getting harmed. you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
cool. I just want to say this. If you guys have any stories, bring it over. We'll love to. Jose has working on, I guess, on someone who's a ghost hunter or so, something like that. So I'm looking forward to that, you know, uh, to that show. And I'll keep you guys posted. Is there anything else you want to share, bro?
I got nothing, brother. I
Yeah.
just it was a good conversation to talk about,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that got me
Definitely.
thinking, dude.
You probably, you're probably like, and I'm just telling you, like a lot of people who have ADD, ADHD, PhD, whatever you want to call it, right? It's like, it's like your mind is so rapidly like blah 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 blah, So it's like you might miss some things.
Yeah.
I've learned to quiet my mind, and it's been kind of scary because it's like you start, seeing things, and I'm like, well, was that something that I saw it on the? Was that a shadow or was it something, But maybe it was my
But
mind messing.
you gotta think about this,
But it's
man.
not always,
Like
right? It's like certain times, like especially when I'm watching
like
scary movies at night, man. It's like, oh damn.
to me, I'm always thinking about this. There are organisms all around us, right?
Yeah,
Which create pressure or the feeling of pressure around us, right? Now, what I always think is this. So, like sometimes when they take a picture and it looks like a silhouette of a ghost, right?
yeah,
Maybe, maybe in that area that you just took a picture, or maybe in that area where you feel pressure, it's just a high concentration of organisms, kind of like when you see a bunch of flies in one area, right? Not just microscopically, you have
what just
billions of organisms just lingering in one area. So you take
yeah,
a picture and it hits it, and of course you're
yeah.
going to create a silhouette of
What?
whatever it is.
But
But
so okay, I explain this though. Like, okay, the red orbs and the blue orbs. So when I was in Hawaii, we went to this thing called the Ghost Hunt, Hawaii Ghost
mhm,
Hunt, and so we were just taking pictures, right? And one of
yeah,
the areas we went into, I took a picture and there was a bunch of like blue orbs, and I was like, "Oh, it's cool." And then I turn around and I take pictures, and it was red orbs. And then as I kept going in with the group, I actually felt like I was getting nauseous and like, what the heck is going on? So I told the guy, I was like, "Hey, something's wrong with me, man, because I feel like this." And he's like, "Oh, it's a ghost trying to choke you, whatever." And I was like, "You sure?" And so he gave me like this
But you
salt,
gotta
right?
think.
And it's
You
like,
gotta
why
think.
am I carrying this salt? I was like, all right, and I threw the soda away. Like, I don't know what's going on. I
But
thought it was just
bro,
me dehydrated because I really didn't drink water the whole entire day. So, but go ahead. Yeah.
but you have to think though. You have to
Yeah.
think. Like I said, whenever you get those red orbs,
Orbs.
right?
Yeah.
And whenever you take a picture and then you see the blue ones,
Yeah.
orangey ones, red ones, it's a reflection of the sun or the light
No, it was at
hitting.
nighttime. It was
It's
nighttime.
still even more because there's more organisms out there, and you're
Mm.
taking a picture with a flash that hits these organisms, which illuminates them.
What do you
So
guys
you're
think?
able to see these little specks all over the
Yeah.
place, or like little orbs at
Yeah.
different places. And then it's also a reflection of what you're hitting, right? So like, why do you take a picture at night and your eyes look red? It's because of the reflection from your eyeballs
Hmm.
back into the lens.
Or you just have a half demon if it's only one eye, half demon inside
Oh.
you.
Or maybe you're cross-eyed and one eye is over here and the other one's looking straight
Yeah.
and it hits the lights hitting that area. I don't know, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Well, no one really knows. So, but what do you guys think? Let us know and DM us. Send us a message, and we'd love to have you guys on the show. All right.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for next time. And yeah, enjoy the show and drink your whiskey and drink responsibly. All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Cheers.
Salud.
Till next time.